I absolutely love Storm. I do. And this is not the Storm I remember from my childhood. She looks very different. In fact, there's another skin that they have of hers, which they call the classic skin. And guess what? That's not my classic Storm. My classic Storm is in a silver outfit. That's like, I don't even know what was it supposed to be, like patent leather. I have no idea what that was supposed to be. Anyway, that's my classic Storm. However, that's beside the point. Right now, we're about to get into part 2 of status effects and going through the Uncanny X-Men. Let's get to the video.
Everybody loves a hero. People line up for them, cheer them, scream their names, and years later they'll tell how they stood in the rain for hours just to get a glimpse of the one who taught him to hold on a second longer. I believe there's a hero in all of us.
Hi guys, I'm Gravity here, and this is a Marvel Strike Force video. In this video, this is part 2 of the status effects. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video, as I said in the previous one, in case you missed it, I am not new to the game, but uneducated on the game. So when I first started the game like 4 or 5 years ago, I played for like a couple months. I was feeling DC Legends more, which is a game that's dead now. I was feeling DC Legends more, and continue playing DC Legends. That game died. I'm moving back over here. However, I am glad I did do the DC Legends because now DC Legends is a more simplistic game, or was more simplistic game. It gave me the knowledge I would need in order to be better at Marvel Strike Force. Now I'm really into Marvel Strike Force. So far. I'm liking it a lot. I'm enjoying it. But part of that is research and development. I got to figure out how each of these heroes work, what their kits are, and what the status effects in their kits are. That'll determine how I'm going to build my teams, which in this game, synergies are very, very important. So now, without further ado, also, so you guys know from the previous video, I didn't do this, but I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this here, where I do also have the, and actually, let me go ahead and do this so you guys can see me. Unless you don't want to see me, then I just do that. Boom. All right, so this is the status effects from the website that I was reading from before. This is strikeforce.fandom.com. And this is what I have been reading in order to get more acquainted with the status effects as I go through the kits. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and just go straight into, well, first of all, bringing myself back up, and going through Storm's kit. So, let's scooch. Where are you going? ISO. And actually the ISO 8s, I'm kind of saving this. This is like a side note on terms of what I'm doing. The ISO 8s, as I'm trying to develop them and make them stronger, I'm actually saving this right now because I want to get 180 so I can put it up to Icarus and get him up. I think it's like level 3 on my ISO 8, on my blue ISO 8. So that's what I'm saving it for. And side note for those of you new to the game, if you're trying to do free to play, it's a heavy grind. I have invested some money in this. However, and I appreciated one other content creator who would say this kind of thing. It is also an investment towards my YouTube channel and growing it. So that's how I see putting money into this game. If you like to put money in the game, have fun, knock yourself out. Enjoy yourself. If not, fair warning, you do have to grind quite a bit. So you may have to be a little bit more focused on which characters you want to develop than I am. I'm just kind of like just spraying it all out there. And now that I've gotten a better acquainted with the game, I know what to save my resources for, who to save my resources for, etc. By the way, if you can get a chance to get Icarus, get Icarus. He's awesome. All right, so going back. Now, going through Storm's kit. Shocking Blow. Attack primary target for 180% damage if charged. In addition, attack adjacent characters for 130 damage. That would be 150 and 200 for each of those if I had that level 7. If Beast is an ally, gain 2 charged, otherwise gain 1 charge up to a maximum of 15. So she just gains charge, I guess, just from being around. Okay. This also lends itself to, if you guys saw my previous video, running her with magic. Magic apparently gives a lot of charge. And there aren't any effects here that I did not cover in the previous video. So let's move on to the next one. Attack all targets for 150% damage, plus 50% chance to apply slow to each target. So I can apply slow. I'll go to that status effect in a second. If charge, chance to apply slow is increased by 20%, so 70%, per charge. Okay, cool. So you only need like 3 charges to get that to be a 100% chance to apply slow. Additional 10% chance to apply stun to each target. And chance to apply increase by 10% per charge. Oh, and chance to apply is increased by 10% per charge. Then you lose the charge. So if I have a 10% chance and then I got 9 charge, max 15 but 9 charge, then I get up to 100%. Then I lose the charge. If beast is an ally, 50% chance to keep charge. Oh, I got my coffee. If you guys didn't see the other video, I said I was gonna go get a coffee. But I also got a glass of water because I'm trying to be better about myself. Anyway, this attack has a plus 100% extra focus and cannot be dodged or countered. So, for those of you who are only getting to this video, but hopefully go to the other one if you're looking for it. The extra focus focuses your chances to apply debuffs and buffs to allies, but debuffs to enemies. So her focus is increased by 100%, so double what her focus is now. Beast has a 50% chance for her to keep her charge. So that charge is going to affect the abilities that are up here. So we're going to go ahead and go to slow, that ability, which, let me just go ahead and go to the browser for you. So slow is all the way down here. Debuff, decrease speed by 50%. Speed up is the opposite. So when those status effects get flipped, and I mean kind of obvious, increase speed by 50%. That's kind of, there. Also in her kit was stun. Miss next turn, cannot dodge or block while stunned. And the opposite of that is counterattack. So if someone flips that on your team, if they flip that debuff, that negative status effect on your team, then that goes from stun to counterattack. And I want to go ahead and go right back up to counterattack really quickly, because the opposite of counterattack is bleed. Which I'm curious as to why the opposite of counterattack isn't stun. Because that seems like it makes more sense logically. I understand like counterattack technically is causing damage. And so if you want to flip it, then you're causing that person damage. So would I rather have that be bleed or stun? I think I would rather have that be stun, but is what it is. And then we'll go back to her kit. So then that's stun, that's charge, that's slow. Okay, so that all seems to be in order there. So now let's go ahead and go down one. Where you at? There we go. So that was Ice Storm. Now we're going to Storm of the Century. That sounds ominous. Attack all targets for 100% damage. Damage is increased by 90% per charge. Yo, what? Then lose charge. Yo, what? 100% damage. And then if I got like 15, it's increased by 1,500. I mean, it requires ramping. I get it, but damn, that seems like a lot. Plus 10% damage to all targets. So there'd be 110% damage instead of the 100% damage. Plus 100% damage per charge, so that's 100% charge. Like, yo, and this attack cannot miss. I might need to go ahead and put that up to level 7 and ignore everybody else. That seems nuts to me. And I'm going to go through her stats in a bit. Passive, Ride the Wind. On turn, 40% chance to apply, and that goes up to a 50% chance when I have level 5, to apply speed up to X-Men and X-Force allies. Okay. 50% chance to grant assist now to self or random X-Men or X-Force ally on each X-Men or X-Force ally's turn. So, I have a 50% chance to have an assist now on the X-Men or X-Force on their turn or mine. That's kind of cool. I like that ability. I do like that ability. And then if I take it up to level 4, 5, on the turn, if magic is an ally, gain +3 charge up to a maximum of 20. Yo, she wants to charge. She wants to charge. I want to run her with magic, and I think I want to... Okay. I'm going to go to her stats real quick. So then her damage is only 16,000. So that is like 10,000 less than Wolverine. Now, Wolverine is a little bit more progressed. I think my Wolverine is... Nope. Tier 14. Level 80. I think he might even have the same ISO 8s. He might be 2, but I think he's like similar ISO 8s. And so, if that gets increased by double, 100%, that goes up to 32, 33, like 6. But, oh no, 34.6. Damage, or 33.6. Then, if I get just 1,000%, because I'm just going to do that math, if I get just 1,000% on it, that is that times 10. So that is 168,000 damage. Add another 80 on top of that for the 150%. Yo, 240,000, topping out at 320,000. If it actually, okay, come on, that can't be right. Hold up, hold up. She'll gain 3 up to a maximum of 20. Now, here's the thing, and I'm sure this is the case. It must be hard as hell to ramp up 20 charges. It must be. It must be hard. There ain't no way. Like, there's no way, unless I just don't understand damage, there's no way you're going to let me hit you for 320,000. You know what? That would be nuts. That would be absolutely nuts. Why wouldn't everybody be using her? And actually, let me check this. This is Jarvis, in case you guys don't know. Jarvis recommendations are, yep, that passive ability. Overall, moderate, though. That's the #1 ability used. And then the basic is the second most used. The ultimate is actually the least, not the least, but second least used. Okay. So the basic and the passive are the ones that I use the most. Jarvis recommendations are basically what other people are doing. They have it all like outlined for you. This is what I use a lot of times for ISO 8s to determine what I want to go after or what I want to do in my ISO 8s. But also, I've been using it lately for their abilities to see what people are doing, because as I'm like trying to spare my resources and not use so much, I'm checking the abilities of the heroes that I'm actually developing right now. Storm is not one of them. One of the heroes I'm developing right now, or any of the heroes I'm developing right now, to see where I should put those resources in terms of their abilities. Which ones do others use the most, especially when I'm running it in auto. So, anyway, Jarvis recommendations, whenever you see this little icon here. All right, so, that the passive on turn, so that one's getting used a lot. Well, that's if you're running with synergies, then you can't really help that being used a lot. And then the A1 is being used a lot. That's a basic. She's getting a call assist or whatever. Of course, it's going to be used a lot. Anyway, so her synergies were mainly with magic. I'm going to go back. Oh, and I think it was one with Beast. So I'm going to go with Beast next. Another one of my favorite X-Men, and then I'll go do Cyclops. Least favorite. I hate saying like least favorite X-Men. It's not his fault he is the way he is, but he's one of my least favorites. I'm trying to think of somebody who's less. I guess, what's his name? Multiple Man? Because in the series, he went like psychopath. Although it wasn't really his fault. Sinestro and them. It wasn't really his fault. I don't know. I guess Cyclops is my least favorite X-Man. I feel bad for him, though. I pity him. I don't hate him. Anyway, all right, sorry. I'm going into a whole different thing. All right, so Dignified Strikes. He's dignified. Attack primary target for 210% damage and adjacent targets for 160% damage, plus flip 1 positive immunity effect to a negative effect on each target. That's the flip thing we were talking about before. That's why I'm telling you the opposites of their status effects. When this character performs a counterattack or assist, they flip 2 positive effects to negative effects on each target. I like his kit. However, I'm finding it hard to use him now, and this is only like a week later. I was using him in damn near every team, and as I'm progressing through like different campaigns and stuff, now it's harder and harder for me to keep him on, and I'm having to use like Thanos or Cersei. So Even if I'm running all Uncanny X-Men, it's, well. Then the damage is plus 40% to primary and secondary targets. So then it would go from 210 to 250 and 200. Now, going on to Volatility Experiment. Clear 1 to 2 negative status effects. If I upgrade that to level 7, it'd definitely be 2. From self and all Astonishing X-Men. Excuse me, sir? Heal the 2 most injured allies for 20% of this character's max health. And then attack all enemies for 250% damage. Oh, it's to any attacks. So, I mean, and this seems like a nice ability. What is his health at? 20% of his health would be, I'm healing for 40,000, 50,000, right? I'm healing for 50,000. So, we like it. 56. We like it. Is it that much? I mean, it seems decent. At my level. So we know. I'm not in game by any means, as if you guys couldn't tell already. On to the next. Mutant Enhancement. Now, this is where we're going to have to... This is where I liked him a lot. Because of all the things he did to help, like, different affinities in the game. Different categories, however they're categorized. I don't know what to call it exactly, but, like, they're categories. Blaster, Brawler, Protector, Controller, etc. Healers. So, anyway, here we go. Apply defense up, or sorry, offense. I still think that's like a D or an O. I can't tell the difference, but now I know offense because there's no E after it. Man, I'm dumb. Okay, so apply offense up to self and all blasters, brawlers, and Uncanny X-Men or Astonishing X-Men allies. So I can just run them with straight up blasters. Doesn't matter who they are. And he's going to give them offense up. That's going to increase their damage by 50%. Brawlers, same deal. I could run him with Deadpool, or I could run him with Spider-Man, or I could run him with Wolverine. Doesn't matter. So long as they're a brawler, their offense goes up by 50%. Apply defense up to self and all Protector, Controller, and Uncanny or Astonishing X-Men allies. So, run with Colossus, a Taunter, Protector, defense up, plus 50% on the defense, plus 50% on resistance as well. Run him with Thanos, another Protector, defense up. We like to see it. Controller, I think Storm is a controller, actually, but she's also an Uncanny X-Men and Astonishing X-Men, so she's getting it anyway. This ability here, I like a lot. A whole lot. Anyway, and honestly, you should probably open with that. Actually, I wish this was a passive. If this was a passive, it'd be awesome. Just at the beginning of his turn or whatever. Okay, so on turn, apply regeneration to the most injured ally. If the ally is an X-Man, heal that ally for 15% of this character's max health. We've already seen that. If that ally is an Astonishing X-Men, heal again for 20% of this guy. So I should be running in with Astonishing X-Men instead of Uncanny X-Men. That's what it looks like to me from here. Gain 10% resistance. That's resistance to debuff status or negative status effects. One more sip of the coffee. X-Men allies plus 10% resistance. If this character has 3 or more Uncanny X-Men allies at the start of battle, the first ally death does not count towards the loss of a medal in campaigns and challenges. That's just a nice little thing at the side. It feels as though I should be running him with Astonishing X-Men, but he uncanny to me. He's uncanny to me. That's how eyes raised. All right, so then anyway, so now I'm going to go ahead and go back to the browser. You won't believe this. I did all of Cyclops. I did Cyclops, but I forgot to switch over the things on the thing with the camera, so you never saw any of the Cyclops stuff. So I got to do it all over again. Here we go. So, done with Beast. I do like Beast, but I've been finding it harder lately to use him. And that might be part of the ISO 8s thing. Maybe it's the stars themselves. And to be fair, Wolverine for me has fallen off a little bit as well, but that's because I have Icarus. Colossus and Magic are staying in my normal rotation because Colossus, to me, to this point, is one of my best taunters. That might be just like a level up thing that he's just one of the strongest. And then Magic has a good synergy with the heals and everything for him. Cyclops. A character that I feel so sorry for because it's like one of those nobody likes him kind of things. He's irritating. He's very, very irritating. He's like a hall pass ass kid. You know what I mean? Like the guy who volunteered to be hall monitor. Optic Blast. Okay, I'm thinking Optic Blast because of like that Marvel versus Capcom game. When Cyclops, that was like the times he was cool. Whenever he would just like go into a blind rage and just shoot a massive beam out of his eyes. Attack primary target for 250% damage, plus 50% chance to apply defense down. If the target has one or more, if the character, this character, Cyclops, has one or more X-Men allies, always apply defense down. Okay, now going back to a thing that you don't have because Joyson, my awesome producer, has already cut all that stuff out. I do like his kit the way it sounds, but at this point, some of it is just interactions with other characters that are in this game and whether they hold up from a strength perspective. In a campaign perspective, certain other PvE modes, you can use them. And as you're building up and starting out, you're going to have to. Just whoever you have, you're going to have to work on. Hopefully, you'll have a good squad that comes through. But yeah, Cyclops has some things in there that I think would be good, especially in the beginning. If you have all the Uncanny X-Men, or at least a good portion of them. Apply taunt to the two most injured non-summoned, non-primary target enemies. So non-summoned, you know that Ultron summons allies for himself. Nobu summons allies for himself. So it's not going to put the taunt on those summoned. It's also not going to put the target on the not going to put the taunt on the primary enemy. It's going to be on the non-primary. So when you hit them, the one that you hit is not going to get it. It's going to be one of the others. Call a random ally to attack the most injured of those previous enemies. 75% chance to call a secondary. Call a second ally to attack the second most injured of those previous enemies. Attack primary target for 300% damage. This attack cannot be countered. Like it. I didn't even see that last part. Cannot be countered. Okay, cool. Now, this is the thing that kind of, and I don't know. This is kind of weird. Attack all enemies for 200% damage plus slow. Now, slow, which I'm so scared to go like change things now, but slow is the ability where it is decreased speed by 50%. And then the opposite of slow is speed up, which is increased speed by 50%. Kind of duh. All right, so let's go ahead and get back and make sure this time I remove the browser so I don't end up talking to myself. So damage is increased by 25% per charge. Now, this is the thing that drives me crazy. Not drives me crazy, but I'm wondering about. So if he stacks up like 20 charge, he's going to be 20 times 25. This is kind of like another storm situation. Is he really doing that much damage? You know what I'm saying? Like, is he and then lose all charge? Is he really doing that much damage? That's one of those playtest things I got to check out. I got to look for. And then team synergy. On turn and on Uncanny X-Men ally turn, gain 1 charge up to max 10. So if I'm running him with 4 Uncanny X-Men, that means he's going to gain 5 for every like full go around for all the characters. When an enemy attacks an ally, Phoenix or Dark Phoenix, 50% chance to attack that enemy for 200 damage. If this character does not attack, call an assist from an ally, Wolverine, or magic to that enemy. On ally Phoenix death, gain offense up plus fill an ally, Wolverine, or magic speed bar by 100%. Now, I was saying this before. One of the things I love about this game is the team synergy stuff. And part of it is like this ability, for example, some of his other ones go into like the comic book lore, the animated series, cartoon, whatever you want to call it, lore. And it's, his affection, love for Phoenix, Wolverine's affection, love for Phoenix, Magic's love for, whatever. And I like that they get boosts off of those situations. Like it's really fun to me. It's like, it makes me nerd out a little bit. I do like it a lot. Now I was going to go through the other status effects, but what I'm going to do is save that for another video because it seems to be like there are some things in there that I kind of want to go over in more detail and look into more without just speeding through them real quick because I don't have time. So What I'm going to do is just call this a video, and then I guess there'll be a part 3. I'm going to find another team, though. So, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe and a dislike. I'm okay with that as well. See you guys next time.